non-humans. Thought it was mages the hunters and the temple guard were after.
Mages left. Hunters needed a new quarry. Hatred and prejudice will never be eradicated, and witch hunts will never be about witches. To have a scapegoat, that's the key. Humans always fear the alien, the odd. Once the mages had left Novigrad, folk turned their anger against the other races. And as they have for ages, branded their neighbors their greatest foes.
Dandelion! Ready some tankards! With guests!
Geralt! Ciri! When I learned Geralt had found you...
Glad to see you in one piece too, Dandelion.
Where have you two been?
Just finished hunting down the crones of Velen and a general of the Wild Hunt.
Well, you've had a busy morning then, haven't you?
In fact, you look terrible. Like you could really use some rest.
Gladly take some. Point me to a room.
Of course. Come on, little swallow. I'll take you.
Let's meet later, Geralt. I've a little matter to resolve. I'll freshen up, then await you in the square in Gildorf.
Right. Anyone here besides us? Lodge of Sorceresses. Triss and Yen were supposed to gather the remnants.
They're working on it. Triss is upstairs, waiting for you. Yennefer's gone to cripple Kate's.
Yen? At that portside dive? Why?
Didn't inform me. Imagine that. Ah, and that elf of yours moved into the Ruby Suite. Told me to tell you he's waiting too.
Gave him your best room?
He didn't exactly ask. I prepared another room for him, but he blew past me and locked himself in the Ruby. Hasn't peeked out since. Barely eats, drinks only water, and the only thing I've heard from him is, I wish to know when Gwynblade and Zariel arrive.
Thanks. Looks like I'll have my hands full. Need a hanky? Gotta admit, never expected this of you.
You humans have unusual tastes. How did you fare on Bald Mountain?
Need to ask? You're a sage.
I ask as a courtesy. A concept you clearly forgot when you left without uttering a word.
Ciri was in a hurry.
I know, so she wrote in her letter. But that is not my concern. You eliminated Imlerith adeptly. So adeptly, you might say you inspired me.
Meaning?
The loss of one of his great generals has weakened Eredin significantly. 2 others remain.
How do we get rid of them?
Caranthir is a loyalist, but Gels, that is another story. He was a devoted follower of our former king. And as it happens, Eredin poisoned our beloved ruler.
You make it sound important. So, guess it's not exactly common knowledge.
I'd even call it a secret.
How do you manage to hide it?
Oh, I assure you he's excellent at covering his tracks, though not terribly subtle. But I'm even better at uncovering them.
Haven't mentioned killing Gels.
Such drastic means are not always necessary.
So you probably plan to offer him a deal.
Brilliant deduction. Bravo.
Fine. So what do you propose?
Why, to bring Gels here. Show him the truth of what happened.
Fabulous plan, if we only knew where to find him.
We do. In the land of the NL.
Land of the NL?
You don't recall. After all, you did travel with Eredin for some time. The land of the Alder folk. The world where we arrived centuries ago. A world that is now our home. The Red Riders come from there. And it is there where we will find Gels.
Think you're forgetting something. You and Ciri might know how to travel between worlds, but me? Not so much.
You clearly know there are many other worlds apart from the one where we now stand. They're linked by passages, hidden gateways that afford travel from one world to another. Of course, few know of these gateways. Even fewer can locate them.
Elven sages, for example?
For example, one such passage will open soon near where we are, fortuitously enough. Between this noble edifice and the butcher's yard. That's our chance. Shall we go?
Let's go. Greetings, Triss.
Have you lost your mind? You went after Imlerith by yourselves? To the Sabbath? How could you put Ciri in danger?
Ciri had to do it. I couldn't let her go alone. You'd have done the same in my boots. Besides, I'd never let anything happen to Ciri. You know that. Past burning pyres on the way into town, non-humans on them.
Things grow worse by the day. No mages left in the city, so the hunters had to find someone else to victimize. We need to resolve everything as quickly as possible and leave Novigrad.
Any success with the Lodge? Anyone out there willing to help?
It doesn't look good. Ida outright refused, while Francesca won't budge from her little realm with a war raging. We don't know about Fringilla. Haven't been able to contact her.
And the others? Kira? Margarita? Philippa?
Kira? I thought you, of all people, would know.
Few can refuse a sorceress. And Kira Metz certainly had her ways. But when she demanded the Mage Alexander's notes, I had to turn her down. Kira needed that, as she needed the impetus to start anew. She found it where she least expected to. Years later, known for discovering the cure for the Catriona plague, she was thankful none remembered her time in hiding as a village witch. I've seen worse matches. Hope things work out for them.
I hope they work out for us, and we actually find Philippa and Rita.
Know where they are?
Yennefer's looking into Rita's whereabouts. I have to figure out where Philippa is.
Know what Yen's found out?
You'll need to ask her. I've been busy trying to find Philippa.
So, learn anything?
A few things that could be interesting. Prefer the long version or the short?
Tell me everything. I want the details.
After fleeing Loch Muin, Philippa ended up here in Novigrad. She sought help from her former lover, the sorcerer Arthur de Vlister.
De Vlister rings a bell.
Philippa had made a fool of him once. Arthur was out for revenge. He convinced her she'd be safest as an owl. She transformed, and he placed a Dimeridian band on her leg. The mage hunt started shortly afterwards. Sadly, Arthur fell victim. They auctioned off his estate. Just so happened a certain dwarven acquaintance of ours stumbled on the auction.
Zoltan. Huh. So Philippa was here under our noses the whole time?
Was, precisely. Zoltan lost her in a card game a few days ago.
Yep, that's Zoltan for you.
A man showed up here, fleeced Zoltan bare, then proposed they play for the owl. Naturally, he won, then politely thanked Zoltan for the game and left.
Who was it? Know where he lives?
He's not from here. No one knows him.
Great. We got any leads?
We have this.
That Philippa the Owl's feather? Thinking divination?
Specifically hydromancy, and a form of sortilege. We need a fountain where we won't be disturbed.
One outside the Passiflora could work.
Good idea. Let's go.
Buy you a drink?
I'm afraid the dishwater's as good as it gets in this establishment. Imlerith, was that your idea or Ciri's?
Ceres.
As I thought. I'm glad you went with her.
I thought you'd be angry.
Angry? Why? Because you supported Ciri in her decision? Or because you fought by her side and won?
What if we'd lost?
We wouldn't be having this conversation. And the female part of the continent's population would be drowning in tears. You won. No point bothering with what-ifs.
Talk to Triss. Reconvening the Lodge? It's not going so well.
Dangerous times, especially for sorceresses. Each thinks 5 times before sticking her neck out, and I can't blame them.
Charming place. Why are you here?
You'll find out soon. In the meantime, tell me about Philippa.
Triss and I found her and freed her. It turned out Dijkstra had her, but the situation's under control.
That's a relief.
So, gonna tell me why you're here?
I was able to establish Margarita's whereabouts, the prison in Oxenfurt. I also learned the identity of the man who escaped from there. He should arrive shortly.
What do you know about this fugitive?
I know he's the only one ever to escape from Derhard. Every guardsman in the city now seeks him.
Sure he can be trusted?
We'll soon find out. He just walked in.
Looking for something in particular?
A pretty little trinket.
Want to give someone a present?
One of the people I told you about. A gesture of gratitude. Can we go?
Lead the way.
We need to go to Temple Isle.
Don't remember you being religious?
Nor am I now. Let's go. Geralt,
What is it?
nothing just yet, but something's afoot. Philippa and Margarita want to speak to me.
They say about what?
No, but I have my suspicions. I bet they have plans for me. And they're deigning to inform me of them.
Got nothing to be afraid of. Just go. Listen to what they have to say.
And if they try to force me into something?
Can't believe you'd ever let them. Margarita's only ever cared about your education. Doubt she'll try to drag you into politics. Philippa's tougher, plays a mean game, but ultimately respects those who hold to their views. If she makes you an offer and you firmly turn it down, she'll respect that.
Thanks, Geralt.
Well, go. Don't give them any more time to strategize.
Not going with her?
Can't hold her hand if they're gonna take her seriously.
True. Good decision.
Relax, she'll be fine.
Rita won't hurt her, but Philippa, she can be ruthless.
Ciri's been in tougher situations and come out of them all right.
True. We managed to instill some principles, skills that have helped.
Exactly, so there's nothing to be afraid of.
Of course. I'll just have a peek.
Knew you couldn't resist.
Pots and kettles, Geralt. You were dying to do the same. I saw you.
You're the one with your face to the door.
Which is why I can see what's happening.
What do you see?
Philippa pontificating. Ciri pacing wall to wall. She stopped. She's saying something. Philippa's turned pale.
That's my Ciri. Probably gave her an earful.
Quiet. Here she comes. So?
You were eavesdropping.
Yes.
No.
You haven't changed a bit.
If you want to be alone for a while, to digest, process,
Yes. I shall go for a walk. I must unwind.
remember, we need to go to Skellige. Avallac'h awaits at the port.
I remember. I'll be there soon. Geralt!
What is it?
Nothing just yet, but something's afoot. Philippa and Margarita want to speak to me.
Don't waste any time, do they? I don't like this.
Neither do I. I bet they have plans for me. And they're deigning to inform me of them.
Not a conversation you're likely to avoid. I'll go with you if you want.
They'll weigh their words more carefully with you there.
Wouldn't be so sure. But two heads are better than one. Let's get this over with.
You wish to speak?
To you, not to Geralt.
Geralt stays or we both leave?
Let him stay, Phil. He'd learn of it all anyways, eventually.
Fine then, so long as he does not interrupt.
Think of me as part of the decor.
The Lodge once had great plans for you. Important plans. Surely you remember. You were to complete your studies and become one of us. Unfortunately, that did not come to pass. We intend to revive the Lodge, and we renew our offer. You must join us. We are saddened our dear Sheila will not join in this endeavor, but the circumstances preclude any prolonged mourning. What is your decision? Will you join us?
As before? I'm to marry some princeling and become your puppet?
You were a child then, and we misjudged the situation. This time we offer you a partnership.
No equality in the Lodge? That's garbage. Some have always taken the reins, while others politely nodded.
A wise and capable sorceress finds the role, the position that best suits her.
And yours should be supreme. You deserve to lead. Realize, please, that you were made for great things. Work with us and you shall achieve them. Just as soon as we teach you to control your power, channel...
I have Avallac'h for that.
You allow this. Do you truly believe his intentions are pure?
I don't trust him, I don't trust you. But that doesn't matter. Ciri decides.
Sages invariably have hidden agendas. Altruism is simply not part of their constitution. You're a tool in his hands, even if you don't see it.
We will assure you knowledge and protection, but you shall be your own rudder, captain, and ship. And unlike Avallac'h, we can promise you this.
We don't expect you to commit now. Think it over, what you've heard, what you feel. We will speak when you're ready.
If that is all, then...
We need to go to Skellige, find the Sunstone. Avallac'h awaits down at the port.
So?
I don't know. Don't really want to talk about it. I'm going for a walk.